Hello, my dear boys and girls. Welcome to your science class. How are you, dear children? I hope all of you are good. I hope all of you are writing well your exams. Along with that, I hope all of you are watching daily videos and learning the daily portions. So, last science class we learned about the terrestrial habit, and we learned terrestrial habits are divided into four types. So, dear children, can you recollect which are the four types of terrestrial habitats? Yes, we already learned about the deserts. Now, the second type of terrestrial habitat is, yes, mountains. So, mountain terrestrial habit. Now, the third type of terrestrial habitat is, do you remember? Yes, the polar region, isn't it? And the fourth type of terrestrial habitat is? Yes, very good. The fourth type is forest and grassland, isn't it? So, we already learned about the desert. What are the adaptations seen in the desert region, animals and plants? We have learned that adaptation in desert terrestrial habit. Now, what we are going to learn is second type of terrestrial habitat, that is mountain habitat. Mountain habitat. So, mountain habitat, this is the second type of terrestrial habitat. Now, what are the specialty of mountain habitat? We know mountains are having higher altitude, isn't it? So, mountains are having higher altitude, and a few of you may have gone to mountains, or at least most of you may have seen the videos and the photos from the mountains. What is the specialty you find in the mountains? Yes, what is the nature of the climate? Yes, mostly it is so cold in the mountain regions, isn't it? And in few other places during winter seasons, you may have seen in videos of winter season in mountains like Himalaya and all. Have you that during winter season there may be snowfall in the northern part of India? There are many mountain range. So those mountain range there is winter season, and during winter season there is heavy snowfall. So this is the specialty. Their climate is mostly cold, and during winter season there will be snowfall. So the animals and plants there need to get adapted to this climate, isn't it? So we already learned about the adaptation in the desert area. Likewise, in the mountain ranges, the adaptations are there for the animals and plants. Now first we will learn the adaptation seen in the plants. Few of you may have seen the videos from the Himalayas and all. So what is the nature of the trees and the plants seen there? So mostly trees like pine. So pine trees, you may have seen pine trees. They are conical in shape. Those trees are like the Christmas trees. They are conical in shape. So that is the adaptation. That is mostly pine trees are seen, and those trees are having conical in shape, and they will have needle-like leaves. What like leaf? Needle-like leaves. Needle-like leaf. What is the specialty of this needle-like leaf? This needle-like leaf is in order to conserve the water content. That is, needle-like leaf will reduce the transpiration, and thus it will conserve the water. So you can see more pine trees over the mountain ranges, and they will have needle-like leaf. You know, mostly the mountain ranges, the trees and the plants will be in the slopey area, isn't it? It will be like slope. The landmass will be like slope region. So the plants are situated in slopes, isn't it? And also the rain first happens in the mountains, isn't it? So the mountain rains will be so heavy. So in order to protect that also, this plants will be having, this trees will be having special characters. Now what are the features? Now what will be the features of the animals seen in the mountain ranges? Mostly the animals like yak. So a few of you may have seen the pictures of yak in films and all. Goat, bear, etc. are mostly seen in the mountain region. So what is their specialty? What type of skin they have? So this mountain goats, etc., sheeps and all will be having the wools in them. They are more hairy in nature. The yak and all, they are more hairy in nature. That is in order to prevent their body from extreme cold during the winter season. So these are the animals, and the features are they will be having more hairy body. They will be having, a few of them will be having wools in order to protect themselves from the winter in the mountains. Now the third type of habitat, we are going to learn the third type of habitat. Which is the third type of habitat, dear children? Yes, the third type of habitat is polar region. Polar region. Polar region. So, dear children, do you know where is the polar region? Yes, the polar region is situated on the two poles of the earth, isn't it? Two extreme poles of the earth. So the polar region, what is the specialty of the polar region? You may have seen the pictures of Antarctica, etc., isn't it? The polar region, what is the specialty? Yes, those regions are covered with snow. It is extreme cold there. Those regions are very cold in nature, extreme cold in nature. So now, can you name few animals which are seen in the polar region? Yes, penguins. Very good. Penguins. Yes, polar bear. Very good. So this penguin, polar bear, etc. are example for animals seen in the polar region. What is the special? What will be their specialty? This penguins and polar bear, etc. will be having few adaptations in their body in order to get prevented from this extreme cold. So in penguins and all, their body is waterproof in nature. Their body is waterproof in nature. What is the specialty of waterproofing? Yes, no water will stuck on their body. Their feathers will be waxy like. And also these animals have a thick layer of fat. Animals have thick layer of fat in order to protect or insulate themselves from the cold. So these are the adaptations seen in the animals in the polar region. Now the fourth type of terrestrial habitat. Which is the fourth type of terrestrial habitat, dear children? Yes, the fourth type of terrestrial habitat is forest or grassland. Forest or grassland. So dear children, which are the animals seen in the forest or the grassland terrestrial region? Can you name few animals? Yes. Most the animals, wild animals like lion, tiger, leopard, carnivores, herbivores like deer, goat, sheep, etc., isn't it? So all type of animals are seen in forest and grassland ecosystem. In forest, we told there are wild animals, isn't it? So what are the adaptation of the wild animals? So wild animals like lion, leopard, tiger, etc. What are their nature? They are carnivores in nature, isn't it? So they attack their prey and they eat the flesh of the prey, isn't it? So they will be having sharp teeth, isn't it? And they will have strong muscles on their body which will help them to attack their prey. So these are the features of the forest land animals. Now what is the feature of the plants? Yes, they will be more tall, greeny and flexible in nature, isn't it? So these are the features of plants and animals. Now in grassland also there will be animals like goat, sheep, etc., isn't it? So these are the animals. So they also have few adaptation. They have the herbivorous nature and they also have adaptations to escape from their predators. So when the predators came for attack, they will have adaptations to escape from them. Now, there is a special character called camouflage. Camouflage. What is this camouflage, dear children? Few animals are called camouflage animals. Camouflage is the property of changing the color of the skin based on the surroundings. So you may have seen few animals like chameleon. What is the specialty of chameleon, dear children? Yes, chameleon is having this camouflage because they are able to change the color of their skin based on their surroundings. And also tigers, they have noticed stripes on tigers. So these stripes help the tigers to hide and catch the prey. So that is also an example for camouflage. So camouflage is in order to escape from enemies or in order to catch the prey. So these two are the examples, and this camouflage property is seen in animals in grassland and forest. So dear children, today we completed the terrestrial habitat. That is 4 types of terrestrial habitat. First one is desert. Second one is mountain habitat, and we learned about the adaptation shown by the animals and plants in the mountain region. Thirdly, we learned about the polar region, and we learned the adaptation of the animals and plants in the polar region. Fourthly, we learned the forest or the grassland habitat. We also learned the character shown by the organisms in those terrestrial regions. So let's summarize what we learned in today's class using the Digi video.
Mountain habitats. These habitats are normally very cold and windy. They are cooler even in summer. In the mountains, the habitat varies with altitude or height. As we go higher up in the mountains, the temperature decreases. It also snows during winter at high altitudes. A large variety of plants and animals live in mountainous regions. Let us take a look at the adaptive features of these plants and animals. Trees like pines usually grow on the sloping sides of the mountains. Since most of the rainwater in such areas flows down the slopes, very little water is available to the trees. To conserve water, leaves are reduced to needle-like structures. They have a thick waxy coating on their surface to reduce the loss of water by transpiration. These trees are normally cone-shaped and have sloping branches. This helps the rainwater and the snow to slide off easily. Animals like yaks, bears, mountain goats, and snow leopards, which live in mountains, have thick fur to protect them from cold during winter months. Forest and grassland habitats. Animals, lions, tigers, giraffes, and deer are some common large forest animals. A large variety of small animals and insects are also found living in the forest. Lions, tigers, and other carnivorous animals living in forests and grasslands have to obtain their food by killing animals like deer. Let us study how a lion is adapted in the forest or grassland. Lions have the following adaptations. They have eyes in front that help them to see their prey, like deer, from a great distance. They have sharp teeth and long claws in their forelegs to catch and tear the flesh of their prey. Their light brown color helps to hide in dry grasslands when they hunt for their prey. They are able to run very fast, which allows them to catch their prey. Deer also have some adaptations to escape from predators like lions and tigers. They have eyes on the sides of their head, which give them a wide range of vision. They have long ears to hear the movement of predators. They can run very fast, thus saving themselves from predators. Even when they feed, they remain alert to the possibility of danger. Animals living in different habitats need to protect themselves from their enemies. The color of their skin blends with their surroundings. They therefore go unnoticed by their enemies. Some of them develop protective color or camouflage. For example, the stripes of a tiger help it to hide in tall grass. The grasses found in grasslands are brownish, which makes them difficult to spot. A chameleon can change its skin color to suit its surroundings.
Dear children, teacher is going to give you a small homework for the next class, that is in page number 90, multiple choice questions. 2 multiple choice questions are given, so kindly find the answer for the next class. We will discuss it in next class. See you in next class. Thank you.